Live from Sturgis, Post 22 Baseball is, as of right now, only on the internet and not necessarily on the air. We are currently trying to troubleshoot some technical difficulties to get some playoff baseball to everybody that wants to tune in on ESPN Rapid City. For the time being, we are on Post22Baseball.com and Hardhats-TV. Mark Benetti alongside you for this Region 3A showdown between the host, Sturgis Post 33, Titans, and your Post 22 Hardhats. Sturgis comes in with a 10-22 record, while the Hardhats come in at 47-10, having just taken 2 out of 3 against Sioux Falls East last week. So now everything's on the line. Playoff baseball at its finest. The winner of this tournament goes on to represent in the South Dakota State American Legion Tournament, which will be played in Pierre next Wednesday to next Sunday. Win that tournament, you go to Dickinson to the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Win that, you go to the World Series, and that's the goal at the end of the day for all these teams vying for a spot to continue their seasons tonight. Folks, we're going to take a step aside. We'll have the performance of the National Anthem and the recitation of the Creed, the American Legion Creed. We'll be right back here on Hardhats-TV and hopefully later on ESPN Rapid City. We're all set now for first pitch of tonight's Region 3A Tournament Showdown between the Sturgis Post 33 Titans and your Post 22 Hardhats. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV. Still working out some technical difficulties right now with ESPN Rapid City. Post 22 is going to bat in the bottom halves of our 7 innings of regulation tonight, so we'll give you the Sturgis batting order. And the Hardhat 34, Brian Duran, he is the catcher. Batting third is number 14, David Anderson, patrolling right field. And in the cleanup spot is number 4, Josh West, out at first base. Batting fifth is number 13, Nick Anderson, patrolling left field. Batting sixth is number 5, Carl Nash. He's out at shortstop. Batting seventh is number 27, Colby Ulmer. He is the starting pitcher. Batting eighth is number 1, Gage Murphy, out at second base. And rounding out the batting order in the 9th spot for Sturgis is number 8, Devin Otto, and he's in the hot corner at third base. Post 22 on the mound as Zach Weitzel to take on Sturgis. The defensive alignment for Post 22 has Weitzel and his right arm on the mound, paired up with Ryan Schmidt behind home plate. At first is Jack Sorensen. At second is Mason Messenger. At shortstop, and great to see him back in the lineup, is Cooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third base is Matt Hegre. Left to right in the outfield, Alex Weaver, Connor King, and Zach Sumption. The Hardhats, as always, on the mound, knock their hard hats and they are ready to rock and roll. Post 22 earlier in the season took on Sturgis, and they ended the game early. It was supposed to be a 9-inning game, and the game ended before we could get to that point. So this is the first matchup of the Region 3A tournament. The winner of this tournament will go on to the state tournament, which will be played in Pierre later this year. Actually next week. Post 22 won 12-1 all the way back in June. Hard to believe that that's been so long ago. So here comes Zach Weitzel, set to take on Sturgis, and his first pitch is swung on, and the ball is hit to second. Messenger gets the stop, and the throw to Sorensen at first is in time. And just like that, Alec Keffler is retired on one pitch. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense, and that'll now bring us to Brian Duran, the catcher, number 2 in the order. Duran batting .359 on the season coming into this matchup. Here comes Weitzel's second pitch of the start, and it is a called strike to Brian Duran, 0-1 the count. Post 22 again coming in with the 47-10 record into this matchup against the 10-22 Sturgis Titans. 0-1 pitch, called strike, and just like that, Duran is behind 0-2 to Zach Weitzel. Weitzel looking for his first K on just the second batter faced in this matchup. Here comes his 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. K number 1 for Weitzel, 2 up, 2 down for Sturgis on offense. That'll bring us to David Anderson, the right fielder. Anderson on the season, batting .392. Coming up now against Weitzel. Empty base path, and 2 down. And the first pitch is fouled off. 0-1. There was no room in the press box upstairs here at the ball field in Sturgis. And so that foul ball came awfully close to our press box as Anderson, the lefty, fouls off the next one, 0-2. So we're going to have to really keep our wits about ourselves here. No balls and 2 strikes to count to David Anderson, and Weitzel's 0-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit up the middle to short. Bowman the stop on a nice scoop. Throw to first is in time, and that'll end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for Sturgis after a half an inning of baseball. We're still scoreless, and the Hardhats are coming to bat for the first time in this matchup. We'll be right back here on Hardhats-TV. Well, the Hardhats are now switching from defense to offense. Here is their lineup here in the bottom half of the first inning. Leading off for post 22 is number 13, Connor King. He's patrolling center field. Batting second is number 21, Matt Hegre. He's in the hot corner at third base. Batting third is number 22, Cooper Bowman, out at the shortstop position. And in the cleanup spot is number 23, Jack Sorensen. He's out at first base. Batting fifth is number 30, Jace Caldwell, serving as the designated hitter. Batting sixth is number 15, Zach Sumption, patrolling right field. Batting seventh is number 18, Alex Weaver, patrolling left field. Batting eighth is number 25, Ryan Schmidt, the backstopper and catcher. Rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot is number 12, Mason Messenger, and he is at second base. On the mound for Sturgis post 33 is Covey Ulmer. Righty finishing his warm-up pitches. Defensive alignment for the Titans has Ulmer on the mound, paired up with Brian Duran behind home plate as the catcher. At first is Josh West, second Gage Murphy, shortstop Carl Nash, and in the hot corner at third is Devin Otto. Left to right in the outfield, Nick Anderson, Alec Keffler, and David Anderson. Here comes Connor King, the only lefty in the order. First pitch is a called strike. 0-1 to King. Connor King, Matt Hegre, and Cooper Bowman slated to hit in that order. And the 0-1 is high and inside, and that'll be a ball and a strike now to King. Here's the 1-1. And that's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the 2-1 now to King. Swung on, ball's fouled. Just behind me. Stays in the park. It'll be now 2 balls, 2 strikes to King. Ulmer will step off the mound and take some time to think about this one. Two balls, 2 strikes to King, the leadoff man here for post 22 in the bottom half of the first inning. We're still scoreless. Game 1 for post 22 of the Region 3A tournament. And the 2-2. Misses the zone, count goes full. And the full count pitch hit him. And so Connor King will go to first. Hit by pitch will now bring up Matt Hegre. Hegre steps in, and his first pitch is low. It'll be 1-0. King takes his lead off at first. Still trying to fix some of the technical difficulties. And the next pitch is a called strike to Hegre, and it'll be 1-1. Ball and a strike now to Hegre with King, the leadoff man, leading off at first. And Ulmer deals. That one's low and in the dirt. It'll be 2 balls and a strike. The winner of this matchup will take on Mitchell tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right center field. Underneath it is David Anderson, and he makes the catch. And that is out number 1. Here in the bottom of the first, Hardhats have a man on first, now 1 out, still scoreless. And that'll bring us to Cooper Bowman, and great to see him back in the lineup for the Hardhats. So Bowman steps in against Colby Ulmer for the first time in this matchup. King leads off at first. And then Ulmer steps off, so we still have yet to see a first pitch thrown at Bowman. Bowman now wearing that shin guard on his low shin on the top of his cleat, too. He fouled off a pitch on the inside of his foot. The injury wasn't serious. It's good to see him back after a week. Runner goes. First pitch to Bowman's in the dirt. It's blocked on the play by Duran, and Connor King will take off for second. So Connor King on second. It'll be a 1-0 count here to Bowman with a man in scoring position. Bottom half of the first inning, and we're still scoreless between Sturgis and the Hardhats. 0-0 strikes to count. And Ulmer's pitch is low and away. It'll be 2-0. Cooper Bowman just recently revealed that he's no longer going to the University of Hawaii. He's going to Iowa Western now, playing the junior college ranks. 2-0 his count. And here's the pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards center field. Underneath it is Keffler. Keffler towards the warning track makes the catch. King tags up and he'll take off for third. And he's going to stop at third. So Bowman flies out. That'll be 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. King is now 90 feet away from giving us the first run of this ball game between both teams. And now here comes Jack Sorensen, the cleanup man. King leads off of third. Ulmer gives him a quick peek, and the first pitch to Sorensen is low and away, 1-0. Post 22 in Sturgis in a scoreless duel right now here in the bottom half of the first inning. Hardhats are up to bat. First run of the ball game, 90 feet from home. Here's Ulmer's 1-0. And that's low, and it gets away from the catcher, Duran. Duran fields it, though. He tries to get the tag, and he's safe at home. Connor King, a gutsy play, puts the Hardhats on the board. 1-0 with 2 outs and an empty base path here in the bottom of the first. Two balls and no strikes now the count. Ulmer steps off the rubber here as Sorensen will contemplate this next pitch. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Empty base path here for the Hardhats first baseman. And the 2-0 is low. 3 balls, no strikes to Sorensen. 2 outs, no one on the base path. Connor King took off for home when Duran mishandled the ball behind home plate. And he was safe on a very close play at the plate, too. 3-0 pitch, hit Sorensen. That's the second hit by pitch of the inning. And he'll take off for first. So with 2 outs, there is now a man back on the base path. And for the Hardhats, that'll bring up the DH, Jace Caldwell. Caldwell on the season for the Hardhats, batting .404. Sorensen will take his lead off of first. Ulmer looks in, up to 18 pitches now in the inning. 2 outs, the Hardhats have a 1-0 lead. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to center field. Underneath it is Keffler. And he makes the catch, and that will end the bottom half of the first. Well, the Hardhats did exactly what they wanted to. They got on the board first, and they get the run on no hits with no errors charged to Sturgis and a man left on first base. We have played 1 inning of baseball, and Post 22 has the early 1-0 lead here in their first matchup of the Region 3A tournament against the host, Sturgis Post 33 Titans. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the second and the heart of the Titans order here on Hardhats-TV. We apologize for everybody waiting to catch us on the radio here on ESPN Rapid City. We are having technical difficulties trying to get on the air at the moment, and we're trying to get somebody that can help us. My normal contact is currently at a remote, and it looks like we're not going to be on tonight. So there will not be an ESPN broadcast tonight of Post 22, so we'll hope to have that resolved by 2 o'clock tomorrow. If the Hardhats come out with the win in this game, that is when they'll play. If not, they'll play at 4:30 instead. Post 22 with a 1-0 lead. No hits for either team. Only 1 run between the clubs. Zach Weitzel back on the mound for the Hardhats. And now Josh West, the cleanup man, will lead off here in the top of the second. First pitch from Weitzel misses low and away. 1-0. West stepping in as a right-handed batter. Here's his 1-0. That missed low and away, a fastball, 2-0. West comes in batting .233 on the season. 20 for 86. And the 2-0's a called strike. Be 2-1 now to West. Zach Weitzel, by the way, a 2.4 ERA and 27 strikeouts to 22 walks. He's 6-0 on the year, and now this is his 9th start and 12th appearance. 46 2/3 innings of work under his belt. 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit to first. Sorensen can't make the stop. It trickles by him and goes into right for a base hit. Sumption will come into field and get it to the cutoff and Messenger. So that'll be a leadoff single for Josh West to get Sturgis on the base path, and that'll bring up Nick Anderson. Anderson batting .315 on the season coming into this matchup. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air, towards the line. Sumption coming in, and he makes the catch. And Nick Anderson's retired on one pitch. One down for Sturgis on offense with a man on first, and that'll now bring us to Carl Nash, the shortstop. For those just joining us on Hardhats-TV, we will not have an ESPN broadcast tonight. Unfortunately, there is no one available to help us troubleshoot our problems back at the station. So here comes Nash, right-handed hitting shortstop, batting .268 on the year. And Weitzel's first pitch misses low. It'll be 1-0. Nash has Josh West standing on first with one out here in the top of the second. Post 22, an early 1-0 lead here in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament. Weitzel will look to first, and from the stretch, deals his 1-0. Pitch is swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right field. Sumption tracking in underneath it, makes the catch, and that'll be out number 2. As of right now, it is the Zach Sumption show here in the top half of the second. That'll bring up Colby Ulmer, the starting pitcher for Sturgis. Over batting .226 coming in. He's only swung the bat in 18 games, though. He is 7 for 31 on the year with 6 singles and a double. Check down to first, not there in time, and back safely is Josh West. West off of first with 2 outs here in the top of the second, post 22 with a 1-0 lead. Weitzel will go from the stretch. And here's his first pitch to Ulmer. Swung on, ball's hit to third. Hegre can't make the stop. Bowman can on the run, and his throw to first is in time. And that will end the top half of the second. No runs on a hit with no errors and a man left on first for Sturgis. We've played an inning and a half of baseball, and Post 22 has successfully protected their early 1-0 lead over the Titans. We'll take a step aside, and when we come back, it'll be the bottom half of the second. And for the Hardhats, Zach Sumption, Alex Weaver, and Ryan Schmidt slated to hit. You are watching this ballgame tonight on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 back on the offensive here as we now come to the bottom half of the second inning. Hardhats currently up 1-0 on the Sturgis Post 33 Titans. And for those just joining us here on Hardhats-TV, we do not have an ESPN radio broadcast tonight. We don't have anyone back at the station that can help us troubleshoot our connection issues. So we're just going to keep going with Hardhats-TV. Zach Sumption's first pitch is swung on and hit in the left, and it's caught on the play. In left by Nick Anderson, a fantastic defensive play on the first pitch. And Zach Sumption goes down on a lineout. Sumption batting .288 on the year. That'll take a slight dip. Here comes Alex Weaver. Weaver batting .304 coming into this matchup. Empty base path for him, and one pitch, one out. Here's his first pitch. And that's a called strike at his knees, the outside corner. It'll be 0-1 to Weaver. No balls and a strike to count. Colby Ulmer back on the mound, about to throw pitch number 21. And the 0-1 is swung on, and it's chopped up the middle of second. Stops made on the play by Murphy, but he dropped the ball. And Weaver is safe. That'll be an E4 on Murphy, as Weaver is safe at first. So that'll be the first error of the ball game between either team. That'll bring up Ryan Schmidt, the catcher. Schmidt batting .333 on the season. Has Alex Weaver on first with one out in the bottom of the second. The Hardhats up 1-0 early in this ball game. First pitch is low. Blocked, though, by Duran behind home plate. Staying at first to Weaver. It'll be 1-0 to Schmidt. Post 22 won the Region 3A tournament, the only two other times I've had to broadcast it. Because they hosted state last year, they didn't need to participate in the tournament. Pierre came out and won that one. Next pitch is low and in the dirt. That'll be 2 balls and no strikes to Schmidt. Ulmer looks in for a sign and checks Weaver at first. Here's a 2-0. Swung on, ball is ripped by the third baseman in Otto and into left for a base hit. Weaver will advance to second. Schmidt will take first. First hit of the ball game for the Hardhats. That'll put men on first and second with one out, and that'll bring us to Mason Messenger in the 9-hole. Messenger batting .296, just a couple of clicks under 300 on the season. Messenger, a slow start to the year because he had to nurse a lower body injury, but once he got into the lineup, he not only provided some timely offense, but he's quite the spark plug, both on offense and defense. And he's a great clubhouse kid as well. Ulmer looks around the base path at first and second, and his first pitch is a called strike. 0-1. Messenger has walked 24 times compared to 11 strikeouts. Showcased a lot of discipline as well in the batter's box. Here's the 0-1. That's a called strike. Fastball in the outside corner. It'll be 0-2 quickly to Messenger. Ulmer in the driver's seat looking for his first strikeout of the start. It would give him a second out here in the bottom of the second with the Hardhats threatening again. Trying to expand a 1-0 lead. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and caught in the glove. It was fouled. And caught in the glove for strike 3. And that'll be out number 2. That'll be men on first and second, and that'll bring up Connor King. Back at the top of the order now for the Hardhats. King on the year batting .285 coming into the matchup. He was hit by a pitch on a full count back in the bottom of the first. First pitch. Called strike. Off-speed pitch right down the pipe. It's 0-1. King with runners in scoring position this year batting .315. He has a chance to double the Hardhats lead with a solid hit. Weaver leading off a second. Schmidt off a first. And Ulmer will feign a motion to second, and everybody will retreat. 1-0 the Hardhats lead here in the bottom half of the second. Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament here in Sturgis. Ulmer from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's high and away. And the count will even up now to a ball and a strike. We will hope to have our technical problems resolved for tomorrow. So that will be on ESPN Rapid City for Game 2. Whether that's at 2 o'clock if the Hardhats win or 4:30 if they lose is yet to be seen. 1-1, called strike. Belt high against King. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes now. Ulmer is a strike away from ending the inning and stranding a runner in scoring position for the Hardhats. Big pitch coming up for him. 1-2. Swung on. Ball is hit high in the air towards right field. And making the catch right on the line is David Anderson, and that will end the bottom half of the second. Well, the Hardhats get no runs on a hit with an error charged to the Titans. 2 men left on the base path, including 1 on second. We've played 2 innings of baseball, and Post 22 still has a 1-0 lead to protect when we come back with the 3rd inning of action. When we come back, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order due up for Sturgis here on Hardhats-TV. Two innings have been played here in Sturgis. The first game for both the Titans and the Hardhats for Region 3A play. Post 22 after 2 frames has a 1-0 lead. A run on a hit, no errors for the Hardhats, no runs and a hit, and an error for Sturgis. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV. Unfortunately having some technical issues tonight, trying to get on the air with ESPN Rapid City, and we have no one to support us here at the moment. So an unfortunate sequence for us, but just something that we'll have to deal with. So tonight's game only is on Hardhats-TV. Zach Weitzel has played very efficient in this matchup. He throws a first pitch ball to Gage Murphy. And here's his 1-0. Swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air. Towards second. Underneath it's Mason Messenger, and he makes the catch. And that'll be out number 1. Zach Weitzel in the first 2 innings combined threw 15 pitches. He's registered 1 out here in the top of the 3rd on just a pair of pitches. Gage Murphy goes down, and now Devin Odell comes up. Odell batting .133 on the year and swings and misses at his first pitch. 0-1. Zach Weitzel only a strikeout. He's only allowed a hit as well. No free base runners just yet. Here's the 0-1. And that made the outside, and it'll be 1-1. Ball and a strike the count. And Weitzel's 1-1 pitch. Called strike. Right at the knees of Odell. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. Weitzel looking for that second K in the scorebook. And here is the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined to third. Nice snag by Matt Hegre. And that'll be out number 2. Way to flash the leather in the hot corner. Full layout. And he caught a good piece of it. 2 down for Sturgis on 2 batters. That'll bring us back to the top of the order to Alec Keffler, the center fielder. Keffler 0 for 1 in the ballgame. And his first pitch is fouled off, and he'll start off 0-1. Keffler was retired on the very first pitch of the game. A ground out to second base. Empty base path for him, and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd with the Hardhats up 1-0. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards the middle of the infield. Bowman underneath it, flares the leather, makes the catch, and that will end the top of the 3rd in 1-2-3 fashion once again for Sturgis, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 2.5 innings of baseball in the books, and Post 22 has successfully protected its 1-0 lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the 3rd, and Matt Hegre, who had that great play at 3rd to lead us off when we return here on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 back on the offensive now as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. They're looking to expand upon a 1-0 lead. Very narrow here in the first game of the Region 3A tournament from Sturgis and against Sturgis. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties with ESPN Rapid City, so we are not on the radio tonight. So for everybody tuning in, pass the word around and make sure everybody tunes in to Hardhats-TV on the internet. Matt Hegre, Cooper Bowman, Jack Sorensen slated to hit for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the third. All three gentlemen a combined 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. There's only 2 hits in the ball game, 1 for each side. Covey Ulmer back on the mound for his third inning of the start. And his first pitch to Hegre. Misses low. He'll start off 1-0. Hegre 0 for 1. Flew out to right field in the bottom half of the first. Looking to get things started here for the Hardhats in the bottom of the third. 0-1 pitch swung on, and it's chopped to third. Stops made by Odell, and his throw to first is in time. And quickly, Hegre is retired. 5-3 in the book. 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring us to Cooper Bowman. Bowman on the season batting .489. Started off with a fly out to center field, a deep fly out at that. And it's good to see him back as well. Everybody very worried last week when he fouled off that pitch on the inside of his foot. He seems to be all right. First pitch is a called strike at his knees. And Bowman starts off behind 0-1. Empty base path for Bowman. Here comes his 0-1 pitch. And that missed low, just above his ankle, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Bowman on the year, a sensational season for him. 13 hits away from 100 on the year. 1-1, swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air towards third. Underneath it is Odell, and he'll make the catch. Out number 2. Devin Odell show right now, as he initiated the 5-3 ground out to Hegre and then gets the pop 5 to Bowman. Here comes Jack Sorensen. Covey Ulmer trying to engineer a 1-2-3 inning here against the Hardhats. Sorensen was hit by a pitch on a 3-0 count, so he didn't necessarily have to wear it for the free pass. His first pitch misses low, and he'll start off 1-0. Empty base path for Sorensen. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Hardhats are up 1-0. Here comes his 1-0. And that's too far inside. 2-0 to Sorensen. Sorensen keeps the inning going. Jace Caldwell's on deck. If not, we'll go to 2, 3, and 4 in the order in the top of the fourth for Sturgis. 2-0. Swung on, ball's chopped by Ulmer and is short. Nash can't make the play, and Sorensen safe. That'll be an E6. As Nash, if he fielded it properly, could have had a play to first, but he tried to charge in and scoop it up on the run and kicked off his heel. So with 2 outs, there's a man on first, and that'll bring us to Jace Caldwell, the DH. Caldwell 0 for 1 with a deep fly out to center. Ulmer looks to Sorensen at first, and he'll step off the rubber, and we'll all take a second to breathe. Ulmer back to work, looks at Sorensen again. And from the stretch, his first pitch to Caldwell is a called strike at his knees. 0-1. No balls and a strike to the Hardhats DH. Sorensen leading off at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and the Hardhats up 1-0. Runner goes 0-1, low and away, and Duran will hold on to it. Safe at second is Sorensen with the stolen base. So it'll be a ball and a strike now to Jace Caldwell. And a man in scoring position. This is a narrow 1-0 affair right now. So Jace Caldwell with a chance to try and double the Hardhats' advantage on the board. Ulmer now looks behind him to second. Sorensen leading off, 1-1 to Caldwell. And that's a called strike. At the belt and inside, it'll be 1-2. Caldwell with runners in scoring position, batting a dead even 400. Trying to keep the inning rolling. And knock in Sorensen to give the Hardhats what could be a 2-0 lead. Ulmer a strike away from ending it. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, ball is hit into right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Sorensen, and Caldwell will stop on first. A 2-out RBI single for Jace Caldwell, and the Hardhats have doubled their lead. It stands at 2-0. Sorensen coming around to score. Caldwell will stay on first. That'll keep the inning going and bring up Zach Sumption, who's 0 for 1 with a line out to left. He was retired on a nice diving catch by Nick Anderson. That was back to lead off the bottom of the second. First pitch, you saw it too. Sumption, a very aggressive batter. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left. That ball has some legs on it, and it's going to drop and go off the wall. Caldwell's on his horse. He's rounding third. He gets the green light. He's going to try and come in. Caldwell stops halfway on the base path, and then he trips. Here comes Caldwell in the middle of a rundown now. Caldwell trying to make something of this as he's just going back and forth between bases. He's tagged out, and that is going to end it. So, Zach Sumption gets a double, but then Jace Caldwell gets caught in between a rock and a hard place coming home, and that ends the bottom half of the third inning. Well, the Hardhats get a run on a pair of hits with an error charged to Sturgis and a man left on the base path at second. We have played 3 innings of baseball. Post 22 could have potentially had a 3-0 lead. Instead, it stands at 2-0, and they'll go back on defense. We'll be right back with the top of the fourth, and Brian Durant to lead off for Sturgis here on Hardhats-TV. Three innings have been played out of 7 here in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament. Post 22 now has a 2-0 lead over the host, Sturgis Titans of Post 33. Numbers across the board through 3 innings. For the Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 3 hits with no errors. And for Sturgis, it's no runs on a hit and a pair of errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV as Zach Weitzel deals a first pitch strike. A swing and a miss to Brian Duran, the catcher. He starts off 0-1. Duran is the only strikeout issued by Weitzel in this start. As we start off the top of the fourth. 0-1, swung on, ball's hit to third. Haggerty gets the scoop, settles, throw to first is low, but it's scooped by Sorensen and in time. And that's 1 up, 1 down for Sturgis. That'll now bring us to David Anderson, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Anderson 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. 2-0 the Hardhats lead. Weitzel pitching a very efficient ball game here. Here's his first pitch. Swung on and missed. Anderson missing on the high fastball. It's 0-1. Weitzel in the first 3 innings threw under 10 pitches in each frame. 8, 7, and 8 in the first, second, and third. Here is the 0-1 to Anderson. Called strike, a fastball inside, and it'll go to 0-2 now against the Sturgis right fielder. Weitzel is a pitch away from strikeout number 2 on the start. And the 0-2. Swung on, ball is hit towards the right side of the infield. Messenger the stop between his legs, and the throw to first is in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Titans, and that'll bring us to Josh West, the cleanup man and first baseman. He has the only hit of the ball game for the Titans. That was a leadoff single to start off the top half of the second. Here comes Weitzel's first pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1 to Josh West. Weitzel's about to throw his 7th pitch of the inning. It'll be number 30 on the start here in the top of the fourth. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air. Towards the right side of the infield, Messenger is underneath it, tracking it, makes the catch, and that will once again end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on the base path for Sturgis. We've played half the ball game, 3.5 innings out of 7, and Post 22's 2-0 lead is still intact. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom half of the fourth and the bottom third of the order due up for the Hardhats when we return on Hardhats-TV. While the Hardhats are going back on the offensive, we need to make a note about the defensive side of the ball. And that is Zach Weitzel right now, who is just pitching fantastic baseball. 8 pitches in the first, 7 in the second, 8 in the third, 7 in the fourth. If conventional mathematics still works, he's thrown 30 pitches through 4 innings in this ballgame. That's averaging 7.5 pitches a frame. That is something else. Here comes Alex Weaver to lead off the bottom half of the fourth for the Hardhats and kick off the second half of this ballgame. The first pitch swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards center. Underneath it is Keffler, and he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats. Will now bring us to Ryan Schmidt. So Weaver led off. He's retired on a pitch. Schmidt now due up. And behind him, Mason Messenger to schedule the 3 gentlemen to hit in this inning for the Hardhats. Kofi Ulmer still on the mound. And his first pitch to Schmidt is swung on. Ball's hit up the middle. Stop at short's made by Nash, and his throw to first is in time. And quickly, the Hardhats have 2 outs registered against them on just 2 pitches from Ulmer. Ulmer a pitch away from an immaculate inning. 3 pitches, 3 up, 3 down. Will Mason Messenger contribute to that? Messenger 0 for 1 with the only strikeout that Ulmer has in the start. Bottom of the fourth, empty base path and 2 outs. And we will not have an immaculate inning as the first pitch is low and away for ball 1. Messenger 0 for 1 on this ball game, looking to keep it rolling for the Hardhats, who have a 2-0 lead now on the Titans. Here's the 1-0. And that hits him right on his shoulder. 3rd hit batsman of the ballgame for Ulmer, and that will keep the inning going. 2-out hit by pitch will bring us back to the top of the order now to Connor King. King 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, scored the first run of the ballgame for the Hardhats. That was back in the bottom of the first. Ulmer trying to get the Titans out of this. It was an out away from a 1-2-3 inning. Checks back to first, and the throw is off the glove of West. But staying put was Messenger. So no foul there against the Titans. The next pitch from Ulmer will be the first one to King, and it'll be number 50 for him in this start. Again, comparing that to Zach Weitzel, who's pitched 4 complete innings and hasn't thrown more than 10 in a single one of them. Runner goes. First pitch. Misses, and the throw to second is not in time. And safe at second is Messenger. 1-0 to King, and he has a man in scoring position to work with. Messenger now 180 feet from home. Ulmer looks to second, where Messenger now leads off. Taking his time. Here's the 1-0. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to right field. It has some legs on it. Underneath it is Anderson towards the wall, and it goes off the wall over his head. Messenger's going to come in to score, and King will stop at second. A 2-out RBI double for Connor King, and the Hardhats lead is now 3-0 with 2 outs and a man on second here in the bottom of the fourth. Here comes Matt Hegre now, with King standing on second. Ulmer looks to King and throws his first pitch to Hegre, and that's low. 1-0. Hegre's 0 for 2 on the ball game with a fly out to right and a ground out to third. King leading off his second. 3-0 now the Hardhats lead. They'd scored just a run in back-to-back innings now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the 1-0 to Hegre. And that misses low and away. It'll be 2-0 to the Hardhat third baseman. And now we're going to have a mound visit for the Sturgis Titans. Post 22, again, a 3-0 lead here as we continue with the bottom half of the fourth inning. Quick little mound visit at the moment before Ulmer continues his pitching towards Matt Hegre. 2 balls, no strikes is count. Connor King leading off a second has a quick talk with Coach Torvey before retreating back to second base. If Hegre keeps the inning going, then Cooper Bowman's on deck, still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. Back to baseball we go. Ulmer gets his sign and looks to King at second. 2-0 pitch to Hegre. Called strike. Off-speed pitch. Right down the pipe. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike to count. And Ulmer's pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 2-2. Now to Matt Hegre. Ulmer again with only 1 strikeout. Looking for a second, and if he got it, it would end this bottom half of the fourth. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's ripped into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. King gets the green light. He rounds third. He's going to go home and score. A 2-out RBI single for Matt Hegre. His first hit of the ball game, and Post 22's lead is now 4-0 over the Titans here in the bottom of the fourth. Cooper Bowman now up. How crucial was that hit by pitch to Mason Messenger with 2 outs? Ulmer an out away from a 1-2-3 inning. Instead, he hits him, keeps the inning going, and not only does Messenger score, but King, who knocked him in, eventually came around to score. So you're an out away from giving up nothing. 2 runs later, you're down 4. First pitch to Bowman, a called strike, and it's 0-1. Bowman 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a pop out to third. Ulmer just looking to get out and stop the bleeding now. Runner goes. Next pitch is low. Duran's going to hang on to it, and Hegre will take second. It'll be a ball and a strike now to Bowman with a man standing in scoring position for the Hardhats. And Cooper Bowman nearly automatic with runners in scoring position, batting .526 on the year. 1-1, pitch is swung on, hit up the middle. Stop is made at second by Murphy. Throw to first is in time, and that will end the bottom half of the fourth. Well, the Hardhats get a pair of runs on a pair of hits. No errors charged to Sturgis with a man stranded in scoring position. We have played 4 innings of baseball. Post 22 has a 4-0 lead over the Sturgis Titans, the hosts of this tournament, at Post 33. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the 5th frame out of our 7 tonight here on Hardhats-TV. Zach Weitzel back to duty on the mound for his 5th inning in this start of his. Weitzel, in the previous 4, has only thrown 30 pitches, 8 in the first and third, 7 in the second and fourth. So judging by sequential math, he should be throwing 8 pitches in this inning, I think. He'll take on 5, 6, and 7 in the Sturgis order. Nick Anderson, Carl Nash, and Covey Ulmer. Numbers across the board through 4. For the Hardhats, it's 4 runs on 5 hits with no errors. And for Sturgis, it's no runs on a hit with a pair of errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV tonight. And Weitzel's first pitch of the inning to Nick Anderson is low for ball 1. We are having technical difficulties with ESPN Rapid City, so we are not on the radio tonight. So only the second time this year that we are exclusively on Hardhats-TV. 1-0 pitch is a fastball low and away. 2-0 now the count to Nick Anderson. Zach Weitzel hasn't thrown more than 4 pitches in an at-bat in this ballgame. Let's see if this is the one that it happens. 2-0, swung on, flared off foul. First base side and into the Hardhats bullpen. 2-1 now the count to Anderson. Anderson, Nash, and Ulmer slated to hit here in the top of the 5th for Sturgis. Weitzel's 2-1. Swung on, ball is chopped to third. Hegre gets the stop. His throw to first is in time. And that is out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down for Sturgis here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Carl Nash, the shortstop, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to Zach Sumption and right. So we talked moments ago about how Weitzel hasn't thrown more than 4 pitches in an at-bat. Well, there he was at 4 once again. 2-1 pitch, and then the ground out. Nash steps in now for his second matchup against Weitzel. 1 out, an empty base path for him here in the top of the 5th. And his first pitch is a ball that skips away from Schmidt. It was a check swing from Nash, and he didn't go. 1-0. And I'd like to think I've got the best view of that here as I am looking right down at home plate from the third base side. So I can tell you if Nash goes. And if he doesn't and it's controversial, I've got the proof. Here's the 1-0. Pitch is swung on and missed. And the count will even up now at ball and a strike. We went from the broadcast bungalow to field side seats here at Sturgis. Sitting third base side on a fold-up table. Life's good. 1-1, swung on, hit high in the air towards first, and Sorensen makes the catch down the run for out number 2. Sorensen coming down the line. And the benefits of being tall with quite the wingspan. He was able to reach out in front of him and make the snag. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Covey Ulmer. Zach Weitzel and company have retired 11 in a row right now. Ulmer's first pitch is swung on, chopped right up the middle. Messenger gets the stop at second, tossed to first in time, and that's going to end it. 12 in a row for the Hardhats, and Zach Weitzel gets the inning done in 8 pitches. 1, 2, 3 once again. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. After 4.5 innings, the Hardhats' 4-0 lead is still intact over the Sturgis Titans. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the 5th and the heart of the order due up for the Hardhats here on ESPN, or rather Hardhats-TV. We're not on ESPN tonight, so we're on Hardhats-TV, and we'll be right back after this. Post 22 back to the sticks here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Trying to expand on what's now a 4-0 lead here against the Sturgis Titans. And Zach Weitzel has been a big part of this 4-0 lead for the Hardhats. 38 pitches in 5 innings of work. Simply fantastic for number 19 on the mound. He has now led the Hardhats' heart of the order to another offensive chance here in the bottom of the fifth, starting off with Jack Sorensen, followed by Jace Caldwell and Zach Sumption. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to roll the warning track. Sorensen rounds first, and he is into second with a leadoff stand-up double. Sorensen's first hit of the ball game. He was 0 for 1 prior to that swing, reaching on an error and taking a pitch in the box. He's been on base all 3 times tonight. Gets his first hit, which is a double. 6th hit of the ball game for the Hardhats, and that'll bring us to Jace Caldwell. First pitch. And that is away, low and away. It'll be 1-0. Now to Caldwell. Ball and no strikes the count. Sorensen leading off a second. 1-0 pitch, swung on, chopped down the third baseline, and it goes foul. And now the count evens up at a ball and a strike here for Jace Caldwell. Sorensen leading off a second. No one out here in the bottom of the fifth with the Hardhats up 4-0. Covey Ulmer still on the mound. And the next pitch is swung on, and that's ripped into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Sorensen's going to trot in to score. Caldwell is going to take second. Back-to-back doubles for the Hardhats to start off the bottom of the fifth. This one an RBI double for Jace Caldwell, and the Hardhats lead is now 5-0 over Sturgis. Back-to-back extra base hits. Now we have a quick meeting on the mound with Duran and Ulmer, and now the Sturgis coach will come out and have a quick word as well. And whether this will be a pitching change, I believe it's going to be a pitching change. And I believe coming in from right field is David Anderson. And it looks like he might be the next one up. So Anderson is going to go to the dugout and switch his glove out. Anderson, the lefty, being called upon to take over for Ulmer. So Ulmer's going to stay in the ball game, it looks like. And it looks like he's going to go to the outfield. So Anderson, the lefty, now warming up. He takes over for Ulmer, who went 4+ innings. And he allowed 7 hits and 5 runs. And of the 5 runs, only 4 were earned. He didn't walk anyone, but he did manage to hit 3 batters. And he only struck out 1 as well. And he did it all on 62 pitches in this start. So now David Anderson, the lefty, comes in from right field. To take over. Anderson on the season pitching will come in for his 8th appearance and his 6th by virtue of relief. 12 1/3 innings of work, a 3.41 ERA, 10 strikeouts to 22 walks on the season. And he will come in for Ulmer here. Playing in Game 1 action of the Region 3A tournament. Earlier today, Mitchell in extra innings took down Post 320. 9-3 was the score. It was tight, cutthroat baseball. 3-3 almost the whole way. And in the top of the 8th, the Post 320 Stars just imploded. And I think there were about 3 errors in the inning. And they could not find a way to come back. Mitchell held on. So the winner of this game will play Mitchell tomorrow at 2. The loser will play Post 320 at 4:30. Here comes David Anderson, the new pitcher. And his first pitch to Zach Sumption is too far inside. And Sumption will start off 1-0. Sumption's 1 for 2. He singled, but then Jace Caldwell was caught in a run down to end the inning. Still got credit for the hit. Assumption has Jace Caldwell standing on second, coincidentally enough. And the 1-0. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air towards the right field foul line. And able to make the catch at second is Gage Murphy. And that'll be the first out here in the bottom half of the fifth, with the Hardhats now up 5-0. So one down, Jace Caldwell still stands on second. That's going to bring up Alex Weaver. Weaver 0 for 2, reaching on an error in the bottom of the second, flying out to center in the bottom of the fourth. Anderson, the lefty, looking into the righty, and Weaver. And the first pitch is a called strike. 0-1. Weaver with runners in scoring position, batting .266 on the season. Chance for him to try and raise that average a bit. 0-1 is high, and it goes off the glove of Duran into the backstop. And advancing to third on the pass ball is Caldwell. So that'll be a ball and a strike, as both Duran and Anderson will now exchange pleasantries walking back to the mound. Weaver now with a man 90 feet to his left on third. 5-0, the Hardhats lead. Just one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Post 22 trying to start off the Region 3A tournament 1-0 and set up a date with Mitchell tomorrow at 2 o'clock. If Sturgis comes back to win this, though, that time will be switched to 4:30, and the Post 320 Stars would be the opponent. Ball and a strike the count, and Anderson deals to Weaver. Fastball's upstairs. It'll be 2-1. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to Weaver. Again, batting just .266 with runners in scoring position, so a chance with Caldwell, 90 feet to his left. Try and bump that average up if he can get a hit here. Here's the 2-1. That's low, and it skips away to the backstop, and Caldwell's going to come in to score. That time a wild pitch knocks in the run, and the Hardhats lead is now 6-0 with an empty base path and 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Weaver, though, is a pitch away from putting a body back on the base path for the Hardhats. His count now at 3-1. The next pitch is ball 4. He'll take a nice trot down the first baseline. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And that's high for ball 4. And Weaver will take his free pass. So a man on first with 1 out for the Hardhats. That'll bring up Ryan Schmidt, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to short. Weaver leads off for first, and Anderson's first pitch to Schmidt is low. Blocked by Duran in front of him, but he's going to eat it, and Weaver will take off for second. Only once has a throw been made to second on a Hardhat taking a base, or trying to take one at least. That one a little tougher just because it bounced off of Duran's chest and in front of him. But still, ever since that one attempt, there hasn't been much action from Duran to whoever's covering the bag. 1-0 is low, blocked again. This time Weaver hangs on. It'll be 2 balls and no strikes now to Schmidt. Schmidt has a man in scoring position to work with now. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ryan Schmidt, .352 batting average with runners on either second or third. Here's his 2-0. Swung on and the ball is fouled right towards the backstop, or excuse me, the press box. And it'll be 2-1. Alex Weaver leads off a second. 6-0 the Hardhats lead here in the bottom of the 5th. They've plated 2 more runs this inning. 2-1 from Anderson to Schmidt is low. Duran the block again. And it'll be 3-1 now to the Hardhat backstopper. Mason Messenger patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored. Quite a busy night for the second baseman of the Hardhats. Anderson from the stretch looks to Weaver at second and the 3-1. Called strike at the knees of Schmidt, and the count goes full. In a crazy twist, this is only the second full count of the entire ball game between both teams. Here's the payoff to Schmidt. Swung on and it's fouled, and he stays alive. So now we've got a battle on our hands. Quality at bat here for Schmidt. going the distance. Weaver again leading off a second. We'll see if on the full count he goes in motion. Payoff number 2 from Anderson. And that's low and inside for ball 4. So Schmidt walks with 1 out. Back-to-back walks issued by Anderson. We'll put men on first and second, and that'll bring up Mason Messenger. Messenger 0 for 1 with a strikeout. A hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored. And with runners in scoring position, he's batting .306. So a good opportunity for him to try and add more to the Hardhats' 6-0 lead. First pitch. Called strike inside at the knees of Messenger. And he starts off 0-1. 15 pitches here for Anderson, soon to be 16 in relief. To put that in perspective, on 2 occasions across 2 innings, that's exactly what Zach Weitzel threw. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air. Towards foul territory, first base line. Underneath it's West, and he makes the snag. And that'll be out number 2. So 2 down, men on first and second, and that'll bring us to Connor King, who is fresh off of a 2-out RBI double. That came back in the bottom of the 4th, so King overall in the ball game, 1 for 2, the Ribby double, a pair of runs scored, a stolen base, also hit by a pitch. He has been quite busy and active tonight. King batting .315 with runners in scoring position. And that went up already with the RBI double. First pitch is a called strike, fastball at his knees. 0-1 to King. If he keeps the inning going, Matt Hegre's on deck. If not, we'll go to 8-9-1 for Sturgis in the top of the 6th. Post 22 up 6-0. King a chance to add to that lead and keep the inning going. 0-1 is a ball missed low and away. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Connor King, one of the 8 seniors that were recognized last Friday night. He'll go to the University of Sioux Falls to play baseball. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball upstairs over his letters. 2 balls and a strike. I believe, if I remember correctly, he's going to study exercise science while he's there. That is not an easy field of study. Most likely will lead into the athletic training field or physical therapy if that's where he chooses to go. The 2-1 skips home off of Duran's chest protector, and everybody's going to advance a base. So Weaver's going to go to third. Schmidt will go to second on the pass ball. It'll be 3-1 to King. 2 men in scoring position. If the next pitch is ball 4, it's bases loaded for Matt Hegre, who's fresh off of an RBI hit as well. 3-1 to King. And that's ball 4, high and inside. And that will load up the bases here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th and bring up Matt Hegre. Hegre 1 for 3. Ribby single the last time he was up back in the bottom of the 4th. Prior to that, a fly out to right and a ground out to his position at third. Hegre, a golden opportunity to really blow this one open for the Hardhats. And his first pitch is low and blocked by Duran. It'll be 1-0. 6-0's the Hardhats lead. And now we're going to have another mound visit. And everybody will come in to have a quick word with David Anderson and company. So again, as we mentioned earlier today, Mitchell beat Post 320, 9-3 in 8 innings. It was a 3-3 ball game the whole way. They needed the extra innings, even with Post 320 having the game-winning run on board in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th, and simply put, the wheels fell off the wagon for the Stars, and I think they had 3 or 4 errors pile up. Before you know it, a 3-3 highly contested back-and-forth ball game turns into a 9-3 blowout win for Mitchell. So the winner of this ball game against Sturgis plays against Mitchell tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The loser of this game will play against Post 320 at 4:30. Then the winner of that game will play the loser of the Mitchell versus winner of this game at 7. Hegre's next pitch is low. So now his count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Every base is occupied. So if Hegre walks, there's nowhere to put him. It would knock in a run for the Hardhats. And then it would bring up Cooper Bowman, of all people. Anderson's 2-0 pitch to Hegre. Called strike, just under his letters. 2-1. Matt Hegre with runners in scoring position, batting .328. He has every base occupied. 2 of those runners classified as scoring position on either second or third. Here's the 2-1. And that's an off-speed pitch high. 3-1 now to Hegre. Again, nowhere to put Hegre. If the next pitch is ball 4, it'll be a 7-0 Hardhats lead. Anderson, very important pitch coming up. Here's the 3-1. And that's inside for ball 4. Hegre will draw an RBI base on balls. And now the Hardhats lead is 7-0. Every base still occupied. Second mound visit, so this will be the end of Anderson's relief stint. And it'll bring up Cooper Bowman. Bowman 0 for 3. And is the 9th batter of the inning for the Hardhats. So everybody has had at least one shot in this game. We'll take a step aside here on Hardhats-TV and give you all the information that you need on who will take over on the mound for Sturgis. Post 22 up 7-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Cooper Bowman. Gage Murphy is now going to come from second base to pitch for the Sturgis Titans. Murphy comes in for his 12th appearance of the season, 7th in relief. 2-3 record under his belt, 27 2/3 innings of work to his credit, a 5.57 ERA with 17 strikeouts to 31 walks on the year. And he has one tough go ahead of him with Cooper Bowman coming up to face him. Bowman has the bases loaded, 2 outs. He's 0 for 3. The law of averages would say he's due for one. First pitch. Called strike right at the knees of Bowman, and he starts off 0-1. Bowman has Hegre on first, King on second, and Schmidt on third. 7-0 the Hardhats lead. They've played at 3 in this frame. 0-1 pitch. And that's called strike at the knees of Bowman again, and he's behind 0-2. Bowman batting just under .526 with runners in scoring position. Got a battle here against Gage Murphy. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, foul, right field side. And that'll land just shy of the fence for the Hardhats bullpen. And the count will remain 0-2 to the Hardhats shortstop. If he keeps the inning going, then at minimum a run scores. The bases loaded. If he doesn't, we'll go to the top of the 6th. 0-2 again to Bowman. Swung on, balls fouled off once more. And the count will once again remain no balls and 2 strikes. David Anderson gave up 2 runs. 1 run on no hits. 0-2 to Bowman. Misses low and away. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes to Bowman. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the pitch. Skips low. 2-2. Schmidt on third. King on second. Hegre on first. Post 22 up 7-0 against Sturgis. 3 more runs are plated. The ball game ends right here. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on. Ball's hit sky high in the air towards shallow left. Nash coming in from short. He's underneath it. He makes the catch. Secures it. And that will end the bottom half of the fifth. Well, the Hardhats bat through the order, and they get 3 runs on a pair of hits. No errors charged to Sturgis, and the base is left loaded. We've played 5 innings of baseball, and Post 22's lead now stands at 7-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. We will be right back with 8, 9, and 1 slated to hit for the Titans here on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 back to the defensive side as we now transition to the top half of the 6th inning, and we get to see Zach Weitzel once again in what has just been the most efficient start I think we've seen any Hardhats pitcher throw this year. 38 pitches now as he enters the top of the 6th against the Sturgis Titans. Hardhats have a 7-0 lead over Sturgis. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And for the Titans, it's no runs on a hit with 2 errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV, as leading off for Sturgis is Gage Murphy, the second baseman turned pitcher. Here's the 0-1 to Murphy. And that misses low and away, kind of leaving up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 here to Murphy, followed by Devin Odell and Alec Keffler. Back at the top of the order. 1-1, swung on, hit to third. Hegre, nasty hop, fielded bare hand by Bowman. Throw to first, is in time! Are you kidding me, Cooper Bowman? A bare hand stop on a nasty hop that Hegre couldn't field. And he just got it there in time. Holy cow. 1 up, 1 down for the Titans. That's going to bring us Devin Odell. That man, my goodness gracious. Here's the first pitch. That misses low and away. It'll be 1-0 to the Sturgis third baseman. And he made that look so effortless. That's the crazy thing of that sequence. When that was a very tough play. 1-0. That's a called strike. Bell tied Odell. It'll be 1-1. Post 22 with a 7-0 lead and an empty base path. 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. And it goes towards the press box. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Weitzel and company have retired 13 in a row, dating back to the top half of the 2nd. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ball is lined to short. Bowman fields it on the hop. Throw to first, in time, 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. The Cooper Bowman show over at short. Both plays coming to the shortstop position. Back to the top we go to Alec Keffler. Keffler's 0 for 2. As he comes up for a 3rd time here in the top of the 6th with the Hardhats up 7-0. First pitch. Swung on, ball is hit to short. Bowman again, going 3 for 3, and he got it. 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 in everybody's scorebooks. And that will end the top half of the 6th once again in 1-2-3 fashion. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. That is now 15 in a row retired by Weitzel and company for Post 22. 7-0 remains the Hardhats lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the 6th. And once again, the heart of the order due up for Post 22 here on Hardhats-TV. Bottom half of the 6th inning here from Sturgis in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament. Post 22 holding on to a 7-0 lead over Sturgis in their first matchup. If they hang on with this advantage, they'll play Mitchell tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock in the second round. Gage Murphy set to reprise his relief appearance. The first pitch to Sorensen hit high in the air towards right center, and unable to make the catch on the play in center was Keffler. And Jack Sorensen leads off with a double. A fantastic effort in center by Keffler. He just couldn't come up with it. So back-to-back innings that Jack Sorensen leads off with a double. He's now 2 for 3. And he's been on base all 4 times tonight. That's going to bring up Jace Caldwell, who has also hit a double. He's 2 for 3. And he has 2 ribbies under his belt. So another chance to knock in Sorensen as Caldwell steps back up. Murphy's first pitch. Called strike. Right at the belt of Caldwell. It's 0-1. Murphy showcased great velocity coming into this relief appearance. He's about to throw his 10th pitch. He only had to get through a third of an inning the last time he was out there. Now he has a full one to try and get. 0-1. Misses high and away. And the count will even up now to a ball and a strike from Murphy to Caldwell. So Sorensen led off with the double. Caldwell currently in a 1-1 battle. Zach Sumption behind him to round out the 3 scheduled to hit for the Hardhats. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit into shallow center field. Keffler underneath it will make the catch. Nice routine play for him, and that'll be 1 down with Sorensen still standing on second, and that'll bring up Zach Sumption. Sumption's 1 for 3 with a single in between 2 retirements. One a line out to left on a great diving play by Nick Anderson. The other one a pop out to second. Murphy sets up. He'll pitch from the stretch. Now into Zach Sumption. First pitch. High and away, 1-0. Sumption has Jack Sorensen standing on second with the leadoff double. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. As of right now, the last offensive outs for the Hardhats. After this inning, they're 3 defensive outs away from the win. Next pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to Sumption, and it'll be 1-1. Again, if Post 22 can hang on for the win, they'll take on Mitchell tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon. If Sturgis comes back to win, the Hardhats will play 3:20 at 4:30. 1-1, swung on, ball's hit to the left side of the infield. Stop's made by Nash, but he can't cradle the ball. And safe at first, Assumption. That'll be an E6 charge to Nash. That's the 3rd error of the ball game for Sturgis, and the 2nd one at the shortstop position. So men on the corners. That'll bring up Alex Weaver with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Weaver on the ball game is 0 for 2. Reach on an error, a walk, a run scored. He's also flown out to center. First pitch. Swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air towards third. Nash will take it over, and he'll make the catch. Out number 2. So Weaver retired on just a pitch. Men on the corners and 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th, and potentially the final offensive out for the Hardhats is Ryan Schmidt. Schmidt 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Trying to keep this bottom half of the 6th going with the Hardhats up 7-0. First pitch is a called strike on an off-speed pitch. It'll be 0-1 now to Schmidt. Post 22 scored a run in the bottom of the 1st, nothing in the bottom of the 2nd, and they've scored in 3 consecutive innings since. 1, 2, and 3 in that order in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 0-1 for Murphy. Called strike again to Schmidt, and he's behind 0-2. Murphy jumping out ahead with some great pitch placement. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Murphy looks to each corner. And the 0-2. Misses low. And advancing, Zach Sumption. He was going from the get-go. So it'll be a ball and 2 strikes now to Schmidt. And he has 2 men in scoring position on 1st and 2nd. Murphy trying to end the inning and strand those two men right there. Keep this a 7-0 affair for the Titans going into the top of the 7th and final inning. 1-2 pitch. And that misses high. It'll be 2-2. 2-2 to Schmidt. Not a bad pitch either because that high pitch is an optical illusion. A lot of times a batter, especially trying to protect, will go after it. So not a bad call there by Murphy. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and just fouled. Just fouled. Schmidt barely caught a piece of it, and he'll stay alive at 2-2 and get another shot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Murphy looking for a big strikeout to end the inning. And send Sturgis to the bats one more time. 2-2 pitch. Missed low and away, and the count goes full. A big payoff pitch here for Murphy. He'd like to end it here, but if it's ball 4, he has to see another batter, and it would load the bases up for Mason Messenger. 2nd and 3rd for Schmidt. 2 outs. Payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. Good eye from Schmidt, and he draws the walk. And so now it's bases loaded, and that'll bring up Mason Messenger. Messenger on the ballgame's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a hit by pitch. He has come around to score once. He's also stolen a base. First pitch swung on, ripped left field side. Just foul. And Messenger will start off 0-1. No balls and a strike to count here to Messenger. Murphy watches every base around him occupied, and the 0-1 to Messenger is a called strike on a nice breaking ball. 0-2 to the Hardhats second baseman. A swing of the bat, and he could potentially bring in 2 runs for the Hardhats. Bases loaded. They're up 7-0. Murphy trying to end this on the next pitch. 0-2. That rides upstairs, and the count will go now to a ball and 2 strikes to Messenger. Sturgis will see 2, 3, and 4 slated to hit in the top half of the 7th. Duran, Anderson, and West barring any substitutions. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that'll end the bottom half of the 6th inning. Well, the Hardhats don't get any runs on 1 hit, another error charged to Sturgis, and the base is once again left loaded. We have played 6 innings of baseball. Post 22 has a 7-0 lead here in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament against the Sturgis Titans. Zach Weitzel looking for the complete game in the most efficient of fashions. He'll take on 2, 3, and 4 in the order when we return here on Hardhats-TV. Zach Weitzel is 3 outs away, along with his post-22 compadres, from getting the win here in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament. If post-22 staves off a comeback, they will play Mitchell tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, the winner ensuring themselves a spot in the Region 3A championship game. That'll be played at noon on Friday. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for post-22 as we head into the 7th and final inning. For Sturgis, it's no runs on a hit with a trio of errors. Mark Benetti alongside you here on Hardhats-TV. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties with ESPN tonight, so only the 2nd time this year that we're off the air. We just did not have a support staff able to help us. Brian Duran will lead off the top of the 7th here for the Titans. Zach Weitzel, his first pitch. Swung on, ball's hit right up the middle. Bowman can't get the stop. It goes into center for a base hit. Just the 2nd hit of the ball game for the Titans. and it stops a run of 15 in a row retired. And now David Anderson, the lefty, comes up. So Zach Weitzel, first pitch, surrenders just the second hit of the game for the Titans. Anderson is 0 for 2. First pitch. Low and inside, it'll be 1-0. Duran leading off at first. Last chance here for Sturgis. If the Hardhats hang on, they'll get the win. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right field. Sumption's on his horse, and he'll watch it go over the wall. A 2-run blast for David Anderson. And Sturgis is not done yet. It's 7-2. So no outs, and just like that, the Titans are on the board. Top of the 7th, and now the Hardhats 7-0 lead becomes a 7-2 advantage. Josh West now comes up. He's also 1 for 2. Zach Weitzel in the first 6 innings only surrendered 1 hit and at one point retired 15 in a row. And in this inning, he surrendered 2 hits on 3 pitches. And the first pitch that he deals to West is a ball. 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that's another ball as well. It'll be 2-0. West was calling for time, but the umpire didn't give it to him. Here's the 2-0 now to West. Swung on, ball's hit up the middle. Messenger can't make the diving stop. It's into center for a base hit. 3 hits in a row for the Titans to start off this top half of the 7th and final inning. That'll bring us to Nick Anderson, the left fielder. Anderson's 0 for 2. Fly out to right and a ground out to third. Weitzel from the stretch. Here's his first pitch. Swung on, ball's hit to third. Hegre the stop to second for 1. Messenger to first for 2. Got it. A 5-4-3 double play, and just like that, in the span of a pitch, the Hardhats are 1 out away from taking the win. The last hope for the Titans is Carl Nash. The next pitch, first one to Nash, but the next pitch from Weitzel will be number 8 in the inning. First pitch, missed low, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to count. And here's the 1-0. Swung on, ball's chopped to third. Hegre gets the stop, spin, throw to first, in time, and that's going to end it. Zach Weitzel threw less than 10 pitches in every inning of this ball game. And Post 22 gets the win in Game 1 of the Region 3A tournament with a final score of 7-2. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors charged to the Hardhats, and no one left on the base path. 6.5 innings of work. And Post 22 does it. Sturgis finished with 2 runs on 4 hits and 3 errors in the field. And Post 22 finished with 7 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Zach Weitzel went the distance. 7 innings, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs, all earned, didn't walk anyone, only struck out 1, but 55 pitches. That is absolutely absurd. He averaged 7.9 pitches an inning. 8 pitches in the first, 7 in the second, 8 in the third, 7 in the fourth, 8 in the fifth, 8 in the sixth, 9 in the 7th. Absolutely spectacular pitching performance for number 19. And now he has let the Hardhats set up a date with Mitchell tomorrow afternoon, at 2 p.m. Post 22, the 7-2 win over Sturgis. So that means that Sturgis will fight Post 320 for the chance to keep their season going tomorrow. That game will be played at 4:30. The winner of that game will take on the Hardhats or Mitchell on Friday at noon. The loser will play the loser of Mitchell and Post 22 at night. Well, folks, thanks for bearing with us through some of the technical difficulties we had tonight. Hardhats-TV was all functioning. ESPN Rapid City was not, so we'll try and have that rectified and ready to go for tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in to tonight's game on Hardhats-TV. We'll see you tomorrow for Game 2 of the Region 3A tournament from Sturgis here at 2 p.m., where the Hardhats will take on Mitchell Post 18. Good night, everyone.